Go. All right, so the idea is we're doing a lure, right? So the first thing we do is we show her the collar, we have this like this, and you can actually make a little bit. So what you're doing is the dog's going to be like this, going, oh, I don't know. And then they'll try and do this, and then you just move that like, no, the only option for you to get the meal is putting, and they'll go, right? So once we have a dog that's doing this, it's fine, right? Now, when they finish the food, you remove your hand, you remove that completely, right? It's like, okay. And the dog will look at you like, what? And then you reset. Do that again. So you show the collar. And what you're looking for is the first step is the dog comes like this and starts eating, right? And holds it there, right? Then they're going to move their hand out. And there's nothing there. They'll look at you like, oh, yeah, look. If what you're looking for is a dog that brings their head in voluntarily when there's nothing, right? So there's not. And then you go, right, yep, right? And they go, ah. So you've just marked it, right? They go, ah. And then you feed them. When you feed them through the collar again. Okay, so you just keep doing like dogs breathe their nose back in and down. The key here then is, so we do that a few times. There's going to be a point where the dog does this and they go, oh, you just want me to do this. You go see it and do this. And then you go, wait, because what you want is this. And then here you go, oh. Now, of course, because you can let go of that, someone should do this. Yep. And you go, go, and you feed. And then, so the idea is you can let go. So it's almost like a chit touch. And then you feed. You feed. So you trickle it. And if the dog moves their head out, there's no food there. Yeah, because remember, we want to make sure the dog understands that the food is not part of the cue. The act of putting their nose in here brings the food. Okay. So once you've got that, and so that's how you start getting them used to it, right? But the thing is, we also need to get them used to just having it. So you can work on that for an exercise separately, which is I voluntarily want you to bring this in. Okay. In between, while you're working on that, so separate sessions, you just have the food and you go, voila, and you put the food there. Dog's going to come exactly what you did there. Put it around. Okay, dog's ate now you've got. Now here is where the real work starts with actually tolerating the collar. Okay, because now this is a restrictive tool, right? And it feels weird. It's itchy. It's all sorts of things. Dogs are like, whatever. They want to try and fall it off, right? Keeping food in front of your dog is unrealistic. It's not sustainable. Okay. And every time the dog starts doing this and you try to distract them, they go, so not only can I try and get this off, but maybe this is how I can get food, because obviously you're paying me. Yeah, from the dog's room service. Room service, correct. Unnecessary room service. That's correct. So when my dog starts to paw at it, I use negative reinforcement to go try something else, right? So meaning that is not an option, because every time that happens, you're annoying me, right? So the dog has to now go, wait a minute, this is uncomfortable, but when I start pawing at it, it's more uncomfortable. And the dog goes, gee, I'm not doing that. And then you got to give them about 5. So if you use negative reinforcement, like on the leash or even on this, where they start pawing at it and you go like, let's say pop, 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 or pull, right? So if you pull it and they stop, you let go, that itself is a reward. You give them 5 seconds, and then when there's no pawing, you lure. And you're like, yeah, well, bless me. And by then rewarding when the paw is not here, you can condition the dog going, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, this is uncomfortable, but when I touch it with my paw, it's even more uncomfortable. Okay. But you can't sustain that forever, okay? You can't just feed the dog when it's not pawing, and then when it's pawing, you negative reinforce. The dog needs to learn at some point that pawing is off the table. Yeah. So this is where we start playing the game of like, okay, when you paw and I use negative reinforcement, it follows with, I'm not going to reward you if you're at least not pawing for, let's say, 10 seconds, and then 15, and then 20, and then you build it up to like minutes, right? So when the dog's walking with you and randomly, like, intermit the schedule of reinforcement, doesn't want to create a gambler. It's like, hey, Mom, I haven't touched it yet for 5 minutes. And you go, that's nice. 7 minutes, right? And they go, whoa, right? Does that make sense? I mean, because you can't always create a positive experience with everything, but you can also create and saying, well, this is the lesser of the two evils. Pick one. Brilliant. Yeah? Yes. Now remember, this is just getting them used to wearing this. Muzzles are very much the same because it's a restraint tool. There's a different way to do that. And the whole idea is you use your food trace gauge to get them used to the movement as they're moving. You reward lock next to you and heel, so they get used to that heel. And then from here, you can go pop and then do the food, right? So pop means come get food. Pop means come get food. So really, like you just did there, you go like this, and she looked up at you because we've done it with the collar. Yeah, she goes, oh, hang on. And if she's looking up, she's not gonna, well, maybe she will do this. But then, okay, we keep popping, and she goes, huh? And then, yeah. So when we're using negative reinforcement in the beginning, yeah, we do kind of pay on top of that quite quickly. When we're going into the training phase, so practicing, that's when we use negative reinforcement, the dog stops, we wait at least 5 seconds. We don't want them to think negative reinforcement is part of the cue. Remember, it's feedback. It's feedback. It's helping. It's helping them. It's not an instruction. Heck. All right, does that make sense? Sorry, that's what I'm going to get you to do. Your job is doing it for as long as you can while she's still taking food. Yep, okay. You can do it in play, but careful because tug's hard to do with this. Yeah. So chase is a good game. Hide and seek is a good game. And that's just it. If she gets it off, then there's no right. As long as it's like, even if it's at that time, you can even have a glass. Okay, right? So this doesn't always have to be like, no. First the device. Yeah, but because she's going to learn, this goes on when she's attached to you on a leash. Because we're going to use this when you are working. So this is going to become a uniform. This is going to become a tactile cue for a dog to go, right, so I'm comfortable. Sometimes uniforms are uncomfortable. That's oh, itches in this girl. And we are, well, it's part of the uniform. Ask any kind of officer, like, it's like some of the materials they use and stuff. So you can get used to it. It's still uncomfortable. It's not always a totally experience, but you get used to it. Make sense? Makes perfect sense. I will not expect her in the first week or two when you point like collar for her to go, whoop, ready? Okay, you can still create that if you want to. Because the act of putting it on means stuff's happening. We're doing training, we're doing things like that. There are some dogs that just forever hate this tool. Yes, it's like me when I wear certain types of shoes or if I wear certain types of clothing. I just don't like it. No matter how much, no matter if you feed me brownies, because I'm covered. No matter if you take me on dog training, because I'm very activity, it doesn't matter. Okay, I just hate it. So I have to learn sometimes to tolerate it while I'm doing this. And then, because the quicker it goes off, the better I feel. It's also a form of reinforcement. Does that make sense? Makes perfect. So regardless of what tool you use, whether it's a trove chain or a halti, which is this one, a martingale, or a prong collar,